G'day bros and ladies, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters in Shanghai. I'm Maynard, joining me once again is Todd. And how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Bros and ladies?
Bros and ladies.
Is that Australian?
It's new, I just did it then. Did you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
You like it, alright, we'll keep it going. We're going to be bringing a ZVZ for you guys. First ZVZ of the day is going to be EG's RevivaL up against DongRaeGu. We just saw play an amazing ZVP against Myongsik. You were sitting behind Myongsik. How'd you feel about those games?
I really like the first game, obviously. Like his push
because the Protoss one.
Not just because of that. Like his build is so smooth, and it's actually really hard to pull off. You know, in WCS Europe, I tried to use it and it didn't go very well. And in the next two games, it was just like zergling aggressions, lots of mistakes out of Myongsik with his wall off, and I feel like he should have won.
Yeah, well, when a big ball of DRG links get in there, it's kind of hard to stop. Well, anyway, guys, let's get into the game. It has begun, and yeah, we'll see you in there. In the top left of Belshir Vestige, winner of the last best of 3. Can he take out RevivaL and ZVZ? His name is DRG. And in the bottom right, from the team EG, it is RevivaL.
A Zerg versus Zerg in the winner's match.
That's right.
And a Protoss versus Protoss in the loser's match.
How does that make you feel?
Well, kind of sad, because one of the Protosses will be eliminated in the loser's match.
That is kind of sad.
But I guess one of them will have a chance for a rematch against one of these Zerg players. I
would really like to see Myongsik come through. I feel like I really want to cast that guy. He's been really impressing me since his stuff in Pro League. And
Titan is really good in PvP.
Yeah, Titan. Actually, I was sitting behind Titan a little bit, and he was really impressive.
What about these two Zergs?
Well, these two Zergs, at the moment, RevivaL has a better ZVZ percentage. He's about 61%. And DRG, as impressive as he has been in this tournament so far, he's been crushed. He crushed the open record. Like he was 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 all the way through. But he didn't face Zergs, so his ZVZ is 30%.
Yeah, it feels like RevivaL, as of late, has been doing a lot better than he used to, and it goes the other way around for DongRaeGu. He used to be one of the very best players in Wings of Liberty. In Heart of the Swarm, he hasn't done as well. RevivaL, one of the only players to beat Snoot in the WCS America. So I would give the upper hand to RevivaL right now, but DongRaeGu he's never to be counted out, and it does look like both players open with quick hatchery here.
They are, yep. So both basically one going for the gas a little bit earlier, the other one going for the pool a little bit earlier. Really no discrepancies in the build other than that, and it's not actually that big of a deal. It doesn't really give you that much of an advantage in either respect, so yeah, we're going to have a bit of a lull in the action, unfortunately, which does happen when you take that really early hatchery. So on this map, ZVZ obviously going to be balanced because it is a mirror matchup, and there's not too much to say.
So is there some maps where it's not balanced?
Absolutely. No, really? It's not. No, absolutely not. So there's the gas coming a little bit later for RevivaL here. He's going to be getting his... well, he could go for speed. He could just go straight for roaches or something like that. But generally in ZVZ these days, it is Ling Bane Wars for a little while, transitioning into the Roach Hydra a little bit later. And then, you know, you can actually go... The Ling Bane Muta was the thing to do in ZVZ. Obviously, it kind of got patched a little bit with those stronger Spore Crawlers. So we see that kind of Wings of Liberty composition of the Roaches, Hydras, and Infestors coming out again. And
on this map, because of the huge space around the expansions, I feel like it's better to try to play with Zergling and Banelings. Like I feel like we will see less of less Zergs trying to block all the way with Evolution Chambers going to Roaches directly. Whereas on some other maps where it's a little bit more narrow, you will see that more often. So we're gonna see here if they opt to go for Banelings. We do have DongRaeGu throwing down his own Baneling nest at first.
Yeah, he's also getting speed first as well, which makes it look like he might want to be aggressive here.
Oh wow, RevivaL Roach Ryan.
Yep, so he's going straight for the Roaches. Not going to use that gas for speed or Banelings. So, I mean, there's a bit of a window here where DRG might be able to do some damage, but when the Roach count gets a little bit too high, he's going to have to back off. Depends on what RevivaL, good scout there for the Overlord, does get to see that Baneling nest. So
he's going straight for the Roaches, he's going straight for the win.
He is. The SR strategy of ZVZ. It's been effective. I pulled it out myself.
DongRaeGu, he has no way to be aware that RevivaL did not research speed. He did not confirm the Roach Warren. So right now he has no idea. He's probably thinking this is an absolute mirror match.
Yeah.
If he will go for some Zergling attack here, this could do a lot of damage, I feel, because RevivaL, how would he block off his ramp?
He has drones and queens, and that's it, man. It's like I said, he's got a window here to do a little bit of damage. The spine's not up yet. He's going straight into the main to have a little bit of look and see what he can get done. Sees the lair as well, so even if he doesn't get too much damage here, he's got a great scout off. Going to get one drone, I think. Just the one. No, 0 workers. Just going to...
Oh, he's going to get one in the expansion.
Thanks, Infeza. Shout out to Infeza the Observer, coming all the way from Australia as well as myself. And
DongRaeGu started his own lair.
Look at that. Yeah, he has.
Up on seeing what he was up against.
Yep. And it looks like he's cancelled his wall there, just restarting it, fixing it up, so...
Yeah, he's gone for his own Road Warren and just one Evo. So, I like this choice. Not going for Banelings here, because he recognizes it will be completely useless.
Yeah, with the Roach Warren up and the Spine Crawler already up, and he has a pretty good SimCity with the Queen in the block there as well, so Baneling aggression probably would get deflected, especially with the small group of Lings he had at the front there. He didn't pull a whole lot.
And 2 Roaches just headed towards 6 Zerglings and were like, come here, let's fight.
Yeah, that's right.
I wish Zealots could do that. Oh, wait. They can.
Yes, they can. Zealots are really good tier 1 unit, Todd. And he's looking for a third here. No third to be spotted, unfortunately, for DRG's Lings. RevivaL sending a small contingent of Roaches over there with his own drone to take that third. Meanwhile, DRG taking his own.
Yeah, RevivaL, I feel like he's being a little bit shy about taking his own third in this game. He's waited. I guess he's made sure that it wouldn't be cancelled. He sent some Roaches there, and then now he starts it.
That's right.
His opponent will need a lot of Zerglings to actually cancel that or kill it. And RevivaL getting the great scout in the main of his opponent. He just sees that the lair finished, basically.
Yeah. Well, DRG took his Roach Warren a little bit later, but he's getting the +1 attack a little bit earlier. He is going to have speed a little bit later than RevivaL, but I feel like that shouldn't matter too much. Both players are actually quite close in their upgrades, so going to have a reasonably equal amount of units both sides at this stage. No player is in that much of an advantage. 46 to 45 drones. DRG just taking a little bit of a lead there to the 52, so another round of lava just going to that third.
Yeah, DongRaeGu's +1 missile attack upgrade is just a little bit earlier than his opponents. I really like how he transferred the drones at the perfect time on his third. Yeah. And I think if he starts on just basically injecting perfectly, which he pretty much always does, and gets lots of Roaches from there. Look, he's got a bunch of lava saved up at his expansion. DongRaeGu, that is. Yeah. If he makes only Roaches from there, and he goes for what I would call the snoot push, with like only Roaches, this could be really tough for RevivaL to hold. But like I said, RevivaL was one of the only players to ever beat Snoot in the ZVZ. So I guess he knows how to play against this Mass Roach style himself. Yeah, and his ZVZ win ratio is pretty impressive, man. It's over 50, so at the moment we can see both players pumping out a ton of Roaches. In fact, DRG kicking up the NOS with 10 Roaches on the way, along with the 22 that he already has, so he's going to actually take a Roach lead when they start to pop out. And yeah, starting that +2 attack immediately along with the +1 Carapace, so DRG is going to take a lead in the upgrades for the time being. Both players doing an absolutely great job with the Overlords out on the map. They can see so much of it. And, whoa, nice Contaminate on the Evolution Chamber of RevivaL at his expansion here. Yeah, delaying the upgrades, really great play here from DRG. The upgrades... Oh, the same thing was done by RevivaL. Oh, there you go. That metagame, man. Yeah, you contaminate me, I contaminate you, bro. Chain contaminated. We used to see that a lot, like in the really early beta. Zergs would just experiment with the Overseer and just contaminate the hell out of everything, but don't really see it much these days, and I really think it's like an untapped resource for Zergs. They should contaminate more, I feel. Yeah, maybe in the future, man. Maybe. Jaedong, he's like so far ahead on the economy that he has like 15 Overseers flying around contaminating everything. And speaking of Jaedong, we probably will be seeing him on stream later today. Saw him out the back, pretty handsome devil. Hydra Den on the way for RevivaL, and Hydras actually make a huge difference in Roach versus Roach battles. Their DPS is insane, their range is awesome, they stay behind the Roach meat shield and generally win you engagements unless you have a lot of infestors, so... gonna have a pretty, I guess I would tip RevivaL with a unit composition advantage here. But DRG though, he is making so many Roaches that it might not matter. He's gonna have the +1 armor as well. Yeah, this is... I can't get over like how the minimap looks, man. Yeah. This is like the opposite of a PvP. PvP you see nothing, you just send hallucination, but now they see everything. Well, in ZVZ, this is the way it is, man. Like I said, Mutas kind of going out of fashion a little bit. People still make the Mutas, and they can work, but people are starting to figure it out. Especially with that Spore Crawler 3 shots them. It's actually amazing watching them die to a Spore Crawler. Hydra's now starting to take a bit of map vision away from DRG on the RevivaL side of the map, so...
fixing things up, and DRG getting a Hydra den of his own. He realizes that if he starts getting into the Roach headbutt, he needs to have Hydras, otherwise he's going to be losing engagements all day long and eventually losing the game. So
the army supply right now, 126 for both players. RevivaL is quite a few walkers ahead. He has to be careful not to get engaged too poorly here. Oh, he needs a good concave.
Looks like DRG splitting off some roaches to try and just sneak into the main, and he does.
That's so well done.
He's going to get a hatch-rich snipe here, guaranteed. Didn't get the cancel on that either. Nice snipe there from DRG. Great move so far. Yeah, RevivaL, though, looks like he's going to go for a big counterattack.
Yeah, getting the queen in the main. He's going to get some drones as well. He's trying to escape with his main army right now, which is being chased down by RevivaL. I think RevivaL is going to go for it from there. He has a better economy.
He does, and he can just keep pumping Hydras. He's got a huge Hydra count. DRG only starting to make Hydras now. He's got 6 on the way, and RevivaL is actually, he's not rallying units to this attack, so it doesn't look like he's going to completely commit to it. He is maxed, though, so he's going to have to lose a bit of supply and then decide what he wants to do with his cap. Does he need more Hydras? Does he need more Roaches?
DongRaeGu is one upgrade ahead. He's got a Carapace. RevivaL doesn't, but DongRaeGu seemed very, very scared of this huge army from RevivaL. So
he's going
to let his force base die here. And RevivaL is the only player getting Burrow right now.
He is getting Burrow. He's also getting the Hydralisk speed as well, so he'll be able to retreat out of battles. An engagement coming on both sides. Looks like DRG is winning on the left, and RevivaL is starting to actually get fought back on the right. DRG is going to hold this attack.
Wow, and those Hydralisks, they might get chased down here.
Ooh. On the left here, we see more Hydras coming in from RevivaL. He brought them back from the main pack, but DRG, too strong. I think those upgrades making a huge difference for him. And finally having Hydralisks of his own definitely tipped it into his favor. So
yeah, RevivaL seems... He's already anticipating some kind of attack by very few Roaches on one side and the main army somewhere else. So he's making 2 Spine Crawlers in his third base right now, which I think is smart, but I mean, DongRaeGu, from there, he's gained the advantage. He's got more army supply. He could press forward, try to trade well, and increase his lead or even finish the game.
And I think RevivaL actually, just with that Contaminate, did show us that he's starting to feel like upgrades are becoming a problem for him right now. DRG coming up the ramp, RevivaL with a pretty huge concave. He's only just getting his +1 now. Meanwhile, DRG just finished +2 Carapace. He's pretty far ahead. He's just ahead of this upgrade here. He's got the concave on RevivaL. A lot of Hydras at the back for DRG. The Roaches are starting to fall, though. I think that DRG is going to just crush through with sheer numbers. His upgrades, his numbers are too good. RevivaL's got 14 Roaches on the way, but DRG just made it pack at 20.
2 upgrades ahead is just too much here, and I think DongRaeGu is just going to regroup here. He's getting 15 more Roaches behind this. He's getting the Hydralisk speed, and well, he's just going to try and finish this game, I guess, when he gets his reinforcement.
Oh, it definitely looks like. I think there's a DRG Spine Crawlers that he's trying to make here to try and strengthen his attack. His chokehold here on the 4th of RevivaL, which is almost certainly doomed. Oh no, those are RevivaL Spine Crawlers, but they are bold, Todd. They're not going to make any difference.
They're going to arrive when everything's dead already.
Yeah, that's right. And RevivaL just getting crushed in that engagement. The reinforcement from DRG will snipe the hatchery, and these Hydras will clean up the rest. And it doesn't look like well, I don't think RevivaL has an answer for this at the moment, Todd.
Yeah, the supply speaks for itself here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's up 60 supply, and he's, well, RevivaL has a ton of Roaches out, but there's just too much on the dance floor, and DRG taking game #1 from RevivaL.
Very well played by both players here, but DongRaeGu, his upgrades, man, that's what it came down to. When you're 2-2, your opponent is only 2-0. I say only 2-0, it's still very decent upgrades. It's going to be very hard for you to win. You will need a much better concave or to have a lot more units, but the army were the exact same, and both players actually microed very well, but the upgrades just too important.
Great positioning from both players as well. They picked their fights when they had to. I think that RevivaL's attack on the 3rd being you know, sort of the flag when he realized that the upgrades were becoming a huge problem for him. He started to contaminate again, but it was too little too late.
Yeah. As much as they see the entire map, and like, if you look at the minimap, they have overlords everywhere, they cannot see the opponent's base, and they cannot see the saturation like we do.
Yep.
So I feel like both players played this like they were very scared of an upcoming attack with lots of Roaches. So they basically both mass Roaches, thinking the other guy might attack, and then they will like to try and defend to win the game. And then in the end, they were just like on mass Roaches both. But DongRaeGu, he had the better upgrades, and he was the one who made. Oh, he was the one who made the Hydralisks later, right?
He made them later than RevivaL, yeah.
But it didn't matter, like...
Well, he had like an extra 10 or so Roaches, so that makes a huge difference, plus the +1 Carapace that he had. I actually like DRG's opener a little bit better. He had the Banling Nest, which I feel is like a little bit more of a safer play. You know, there's Ling all-ins and that sort of thing that are prevalent in the Australian scene. We had a bunch of people in the Southeast Asian scene that would, you know, hide a lot of Lings and then surprise. And if you don't have any Banelings, you just die to it straight up. So even a slow Ling attack for some reason works.
And if you have a lot of Banelings, then you win twins.
That's exactly right. Banelings are amazing, Todd, and I like to have them. So we didn't see a single Baneling made by DRG there, but he could have if he wanted, which was the point.
Yeah, I think it was smart. Because he saw that there was a good wall at his opponent's base. He knows he's up against a good player. It will be very hard to make it work. But then again, versus Myungshik, he still tried for attacks that I think should not have necessarily worked, and he made them work somehow. So
yeah, one missed force field ban, something, and then all of a sudden,
the wall. Yeah. The wall was not very good.
He had a lot of pylons on the north wall in that third game.
He was on like 50 supply out of 94.
Well, back to the ZVZ. We've got game 2 of DRG versus RevivaL coming up right now, guys. Let's get into the game. All right. So in the bottom left here of Star Station, we have got DRG from Team MVP, who is currently up 1 game on this guy in the top right. This is EG's RevivaL. I think we have a score reversal there.
You see RevivaL's haircut?
Yeah,
I think Wolf will approve. It's pretty beautiful. How do you get that? Like he has to use the hair dryer every day, like to bring his hair up.
I can't imagine it, man. As a gentleman with dreadlocks, to think about spending more than 5 minutes in the bathroom on anything seems, you know.
Really?
And I have a beard as well. DRG is 1-0 up on RevivaL right now. So let's see if RevivaL can tie the series. I feel like he's got it within him. He's got the power. He showed some pretty good decisions and just flashes of brilliance in that last CVZ. And I'd like to see him power through. But that said, though, DRG just looks so confident and so relaxed here at this tournament. He's all smiles. He just looks like he's a relaxed guy. He's slouching in his chair. He's just got that you know, he's not uptight at the moment. His posture's good. He's feeling good, and yeah.
Posture is good.
His posture is good. It's important, man.
You studied his posture?
I studied his posture. So actually, it's a little bit slouchy. Not as good as some of the Terran players. QXC and Argus have got amazing posture. But
it's nice. Kylaris uses a word that I can't understand, and now you do as well, but the Australian version. Slouchy.
Slouching. Slouching's a word. I promise.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I just don't understand it. I don't know it.
Okay.
It's not part of my vocabulary.
Well, it's bad.
Okay.
Slouching is bad.
I guess so.
Yeah.
RevivaL, I feel like in the first game he played in a very shy way. Like he played defensive the entire time because he wanted to open with roaches directly against a Baneling nest. And because of that, he didn't have the initiative. It was DongRaeGu who had the initiative. He went for the very good move of sending some roaches in the main and then canceled the force in the meantime. And after that, he pretty much always had the momentum. He just mixed better. He had more upgrades. RevivaL this game, if he plays the same way, he basically doesn't have any room for mistakes like he did in the previous game, especially that run by in the main really hurt him. He lost the queen and then some drones. So in this game, I would like to see him try to go for his own Baneling nest, maybe, or if he goes for roaches, I guess on this map it would be easier to wall off at his expansion with the evolution chambers.
Just wanted to say I completely agree with you, man. I think like DRG is the king of the run by. And it's really just got him those little bits of advantages that he needs. And when at this level, a slight advantage is all you need to be able to take the game away from the other guy. So we're just having a look at the openings here. It's pretty similar. Both players, again, just opting to make one structure, 1 or 2 workers before the other. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. Both syncing up their queens as well. But we see RevivaL once again going for that earlier Roach Warren, not opting to get the speed. DRG opting to do it again. So he's actually looking very similar, minus the Baneling nest from the last game.
Yeah, and the placement is very interesting here. He put it in the back of his main, where there's going to be no overlord able to scout this almost ever. So we could be seeing an attack with roaches here, possibly. Or at least he's definitely trying to hide it. Like in the previous game, he put it at his expansion to try and leave some space between his Roach Warren and his hatchery to put a queen that would be safe from Zerglings or Banelings.
And DRG making that Baneling nest a little bit later than the last game, and it looks like he's, very, very similar openings. Almost exactly the same. So RevivaL is just banking up a little bit here.
2 roaches.
2 roaches on the way, and that's all you need at this stage, really. 2 roaches and a queen should be fine against any Baneling aggression, but it doesn't look that DRG wants to do that. He's only got the 2 Lings at the front, and he just made a huge ton of drones. 10 just popping out now.
Make it 9 roaches.
Wow. Okay, RevivaL looking like he's just going to go for a big smash and grab here.
And this is going to be so hard for DongRaeGu to hold. He's gone for the Baneling nest. He's gonna have, as soon as he sees this, I think he might have to start some spine crawlers. He's gonna be seeing it very soon. The Zergling's actually gonna die on the way.
Losing units is definitely not what you want here, but the Lings have done that. They just actually stopped, didn't even look into the main, and now starting up that spine crawler wall just as Todd guessed here, and now he's going to just pump out a ton of units. 14 Lings on the way. It's going to come down to the spine crawlers and transfusions from the Queen to be able to hold this attack. Banelings can be handy for hitting a cluster, but I think Revival's too good to be caught out by something like that.
The spines are not that well placed, but DongRaeGu, having all those Lings to buy himself some time, he's getting 2 Queens. He's got 2 Queens at his expansion as well. He's getting 2 Banelings, and I really like this. Only 2 Banelings to try and hit the center of this pack of roaches to basically splash them into death.
He's going to have to rely on Revival not splitting his roaches here. Revival just going straight into the main. He's going to try and choke up the ramp. That Baneling hit did help out DRG a fair bit, but the roaches are in such a great spot. Does he have enough to power through? It looks like there might just be too many Lings.
Well, actually, these roaches are trading very well. They killed so many of these Lings. That was very smart by RevivaL, but DongRaeGu he had just enough. And when you do this kind of attack, you don't really expect to kill your opponent. You just want to basically weaken his economy, possibly force him to make more units than you did. And in this time, it didn't particularly work. They are on an even worker count. DongRaeGu just pulled a little bit ahead with 39. Well, never mind, 38 now for RevivaL. So very equal worker count here. So I guess from there, this is still anybody's game. DongRaeGu again going for his own Roach Warren.
Yeah, a little bit later than RevivaL, but RevivaL getting a much earlier lair, and also going to get that Evo chamber as well, which means he's going to have double upgrades versus DongRaeGu, who I believe only has the one Evo chamber. So
this first one started about the same time.
Yeah, about the same time. So they're both going to +1 at the same time, but RevivaL has the power to be able to get Carapace as well if he wants. He's getting a bit of a bank now.
The roles are reversed, man.
That's right.
It's time for him to get 2-2 against 2-0 if he can. But DongRaeGu going for the fairly quick third here, I feel, given the situation. Like, I mean,
it's a bold third. It's a very bold third. RevivaL does see that with his Overseer here. And that opens him up for a pretty big attack. I mean, RevivaL didn't get metabolic boost, so he can't actually have the speed.
Oh my god, Nidus going down.
That's so sick.
By RevivaL in his natural. So I think he's not going to be taking a third, or if he takes it, he's not really planning on saturating it. He's going to be getting only roaches from there. His opponent cannot see that. Oh wow, he has to be careful. There is the Overseer of DongRaeGu just above the natural of RevivaL.
Oh, and it looks like he might... Oh, actually the Overseer got chased away. It won't see the Nidus. This could be huge and potentially game-ending for DRG. But it looks like the Overseer is actually going to hang on the lip of this ramp here, but the Overlord...
Oh, the Overseer!
Yeah, he's in a good position. DRG, now he sees the Nidus.
I like how he put 2 roaches next to it. It's not here, it's not here. You
Nothing
can't
to see here, move along.
Oh, and RevivaL, he's got one Overseer in position on the left-hand side of the map, ready to throw down a Nidus, but there is some Lings chasing it.
Yeah,
DongRaeGu playing this so well.
And there's a Nidus going down in the middle of the ramp. So he's just going to have to use this to reinforce a standard attack at a standard spot. Whereas what he really wanted to do was just chase him up. We can see that the army supplies a little bit ahead for RevivaL, but not by that much, just a little bit. 64 over 57, and the worker supplies slightly in RevivaL's favor as well. And here he comes for his attack.
Yeah, this is going to be so hard to make work. Roach speed about to finish here for DongRaeGu. He's going to move his spines in a very good position to help defend against this, actually. Very nicely done here with his overlords dropping some creep.
Yeah. A lot of roaches pumping out for RevivaL, but they are coming in a bit of a funnel here, and DRG already has the concave ready.
This is really bad for RevivaL. He has to make this work right now, because DongRaeGu, he has a third hatch. He's got a Queen there as well. He's going to outproduce his opponent very, very soon. Yeah, RevivaL needs to get in there right now.
He's in a perfect rally position for all 3 of those hatcheries to be able to just reinforce here. This is actually where you have your units rallied on this map when you play ZVZ on it, so he's more than happy. Oh, there's that Nidus in the main that we were expecting at one point, but already units in the main ready for it, and it's going to get shut down so hard.
Yeah. I think RevivaL, he needs to attack and then drop a Nidus just right behind his army there.
These Queens could make a difference for RevivaL. Some transfuses going down. No Queens from DRG here for the battle, but he does have a ton of units and a massive concave. And he's moving in, just kind of posturing back and forth for RevivaL here. Neither player wants to take too much damage from each other.
And I really like that he had his Queens there. 6 of them, the Queen Dralisks, as MC likes to call them.
The Queen Dralisks.
Yeah. In the end, not doing much enough. RevivaL realizes that this is not going to work. He's gonna pull back and try to play this differently. He's thrown on his own third base. DongRaeGu spots it immediately with his Overseer, and I feel like RevivaL in this game is in a world of trouble. This might be a 2-0 by DongRaeGu here.
Very likely, man. He's up 20 supply. His work account's so good. He's had 3 hatcheries for so much longer than the other player, which is the biggest thing at at this stage for DongRaeGu, his biggest advantage is his economy and his production capabilities. Tearing apart that Nidus worm in the middle of the map there, basically kind of wasted money from RevivaL. He hasn't been able to do anything with his Nidus yet, other than make a retreat path for himself.
DongRaeGu getting even more drones right now. I think he's faking aggression here. He's going forward, but he doesn't really plan on engaging. He knows his opponent will have as much, if not more, than him. A lone roach didn't wish to live anymore.
Yeah, he just wasn't too keen on life anymore, and sometimes that happens, you know. Okay, here we go. Big concave from RevivaL. He does manage to push DRG back. The Queen's making a massive difference for him. He's got a lot of high health roaches, and he actually is going to be able to have a pretty huge. He's going to have that +1 carapace over DRG again very, very shortly. It's just about to finish. +2 attack about to finish for both players, but DRG's +1 carapace very far behind.
Yeah, RevivaL throwing down his own Hydralisk Den a little bit earlier. I guess.
Yeah,
I can't know if it's a little bit earlier because
he actually
just earlier than
he got it. He got it way before DongRaeGu in the last game as well, and it definitely helped him to win engagements in the mid game. But DRG managing to just have a huge roach count, managed to smash him back there. But
I like how DongRaeGu is leaving some units. He's in the top left-hand side of his base to make sure there's no Nidus that goes down there.
Yeah, which is always potential. I mean, there's that one Overseer. He doesn't even want to bother sniping that because it's just going to fly away. Oh, DRG heading straight into the natural. He's got a massive concave here on RevivaL. RevivaL has the army deficit. DRG is actually up 30 supply here, but he has the rally point here from the natural and the main, and it looks like with these reinforcements from the natural, he's starting to get the concave on the top. He does actually beat DRG back.
Wow, really nice hold here by RevivaL. He was on 2-1 upgrades against 2-0, man.
Yep.
It's time. He should get... Nah, that's not going to happen. The +1 carapace for DongRaeGu is well on its way. Still ahead on supply here. He's getting a lot more roaches, and it doesn't look like he wants to add any Hydralisks to his army just yet. He's still only making roaches. He's made the Hydralisk Den in his main, so he has this option.
I really think Hydras is what needs to happen here for DRG because there is so many roaches here from RevivaL. DRG's, a lot of his unhurt roaches are at the back, and he's losing some on the retreat here. And RevivaL just, he still has that +1 carapace advantage just for the next few seconds. And there it goes. Both players now even. DRG smells blood in the water, and he's going straight for this force of RevivaL. Does he have the roach count advantage though? It looks like it's very, very similar, 35 to 30, and DRG just up by a few roaches, but RevivaL again has that rally path. If he wants to reinforce this, it's much easier for him.
Yeah, and DongRaeGu, he did a run by with 3 roaches in the third base. While this was happening, this was repelled by RevivaL, but he left 5 to 6 roaches there, and then DongRaeGu is going to try to do it again. These roaches already got some kills. They're going to get even one more drone, but now finally RevivaL is held, and
yep.
What a sick hold that was, man.
RevivaL actually playing really, really, really well this game. Versus the last game, he's doing insanely well. And we see that the worker count actually is taking a lead for RevivaL. He has 67 over the 58.
Wow. And he's caught up on army supply now.
Wow.
He just spotted the force base of DongRaeGu that just finished now. If RevivaL presses forward here with Hydralisks, he could do very well. Especially, he's getting the +2 carapace upgrades while DongRaeGu hasn't started his. So if he waits until this kicks in, it's going to be like the previous game, except just 1 upgrade leads.
DRG is going to have grooved spines before RevivaL. His Hydralisk will be a little bit more effective, but I feel like +2 carapace is so much more important. RevivaL starting a spine crawler in the third to make sure that he doesn't get done by Ling run-bys. Very, very important to do that. And Evolution Chambers, whoa, looks like that DRG has not got his hide yet, so he's kind of stuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, DongRaeGu needs to start +2 carapace. Okay, he does start it just now, but RevivaL's +2 carapace just finished 2-2 against 2-1. The army supply. RevivaL just a little bit behind with 120 against 136. He has to be very careful. He needs a good concave.
Yeah, he has. He does have the +2 carapace upgrade though, which is going to be very, very good for RevivaL. Will the upgrades coming to this? He has a Hydra count advantage as well. I feel like RevivaL's actually going to crush through this.
Oh, this is very even. Okay, never mind.
You
were right. I'm sorry.
The armor upgrades, once again, this is actually just flipped on its head. Last game, the upgrades making a huge advantage, a huge difference in every engagement for DRG. This game, RevivaL with the upgrade advantage, just pushing back every single attack, holding every time, and actually every attack he's been holding has been getting him further and further ahead.
And RevivaL now, he's got his force base well saturated with lots of drones on those minerals. Whereas DongRaeGu is only mining from the gases on his. Why?
He could be possibly trying to switch to Infestors or something, but I don't know. He's going to have a pretty large gas bank, man. RevivaL already with a massive gas bank as well, with that around 800, 900 minerals. So a lot of roaches on the way for RevivaL. Going to get that meat shield up for his Hydras, which are also important. DRG starting to get some of his own Hydras on the field, but again, that +2 Carapace upgrade not finished yet. And RevivaL with a 20 supply lead in the army, and this is actually going to be very, very hard for DRG, even though he's in his neck of the woods.
Yeah, DongRaeGu, he has the vision here, so he can try to do his best to set up a concave before the fight even begins. RevivaL finally throwing down the infestation pit. Keep in mind, RevivaL, he has the Nidus as a possibility that they could use here.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he hasn't tried for anything like that.
Yeah. DRG's been really good, like you mentioned. Oh god, this is actually a really bad position for RevivaL. DRG has a huge concave and he's stuck here. He is actually going to be very hard for him to retreat if DRG wins this engagement, but it looks like RevivaL is just going to break through with sheer numbers. DRG's +2 still not done. RevivaL hitting a huge timing here, and this is actually working very well for him.
Yeah, this looked good for DongRaeGu at first, but then he had some units stuck behind his army, just dancing behind, not being able to shoot, so he's going to pull the drones for the moment. RevivaL actually, he's very hesitant right now. He's thinking about pulling back, but wow, he's going to pull back, looks like. Artist regroup.
Just going to regroup, yeah. He's getting a lot of roaches here. They just made 20, and they're on the way for the reinforcement of this attack. And still just mining minerals from this base.
Just mining minerals.
Just 26 drones on the minerals there. So, wow. And here he comes for this another attack. It looks like more of the spine crawlers. Another 2 spine crawlers from DRG. This is just like the last game, except RevivaL is taking DRG's spot and taking the huge advantage in this game. It looks like he's going to just crush through, easy peasy.
Yeah, DongRaeGu, he had the same upgrades there, but not enough army supply, and he's just going to get crushed. GG gets called.
There you go. Wow, what a role reversal there, man. Great ZVZ play. I think RevivaL has adjusted to DRG a little bit, and he's starting to figure him out.
You know, I was about to say, like, DongRaeGu yesterday crushes everyone, today he takes first in his group with 2, and then suddenly he starts attacking and loses like every engagement, like RevivaL halts everything. I feel like if I was DongRaeGu now, I would be very frustrated, because it was the way it was supposed to go. He wins the first game convincingly, and then in the second game he's in a great position, and then he ends up trying to finish, he keeps attacking, RevivaL holds everything, and then somehow comes back in the game.
He just had that upgrade advantage, man. He knew what he did wrong in the last game and he adjusted, and that's always good to see.
He had some great injects, I have to say. Like, he really caught up on supply, and DongRaeGu maybe slipping a little bit, a few times with his injects.
Yeah, quite possibly, man. I mean, both players are basically as close to perfect as it gets as playing Zerg, but you know, DRG had a bit of a slip in form towards the end. He wasn't the all-powerful Zerg mastermind that he was in.
Should see my Zerg, man.
I should see your Zerg.
50 energy queens after the first inject.
You'll have to show me later.
My creep spread is sick. That's the only thing that's good, because I like to see the entire map.
Well, in ZVZ, you already get to see the entire map because you just have your Overlord spread.
Yeah, I guess.
It's nice.
Except against Phoenixes, you can't see much.
Yes.
You're a blind man.
That's right. I do like hallucination. I like that they put hallucination as a non-upgradable sort of feature on the Sentry, so you have it straight out of the box.
It's really good, I think. It's changed Protoss so much. Like, you don't need to scout with observers anymore. Observers are to spot army movement or drops or stuff like that.
Or cloak things.
Yes.
All right, let's get into this game, guys. The deciding match between DongRaeGu and EG's RevivaL. Who do you think's going to win? Drop some predictions in the chat. We do appreciate it. I'm Maynard. With me is Todd. You're watching the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai, and let's get amongst it. All right. Neo Planet S is the map of choice for this final battle between these two. In the bottom left here, we have got MVP's DongRaeGu. And in the top right from Team Evil Geniuses, this is RevivaL.
I like how the music got epic.
Yeah, it did.
DongRaeGu.
Ihan timing on that music.
I mean, we've seen fairly even builds so far. Like, both players like to go for hatch first, and from there RevivaL seems to like to go for roaches early on. I don't feel like we might see a cheese here, although it's still possible. I guess they haven't thrown down anything yet, so we're gonna see here in a second. But the third game is obviously very important. The winner of this is through. That's such an important game. The loser of this will play either Myung-Sik or Titan later on to find out who else is advanced in this group. So that's That's such an important game here. This might be one of their most important game yet in this tournament.
That's right. I mean, I'm sure Kalaris and Apollo probably explained this when they were casting earlier, but I didn't hear the cast just to make sure. If anyone's unfamiliar, this is GSL format. So GSL group stages, win 2, go through. That's basically the long and short of it. And obviously, if you lose a couple, you're out as well. So it works the other way around. Both players getting their pulls. Oh, sorry, we've got RevivaL going hatch first and DRG getting his pull first. So DRG tends to play a little bit safer than RevivaL, I've noticed. With these openings.
Not in the first game. In the first game, like RevivaL was playing very defensive, which
with the fast Roach Warren.
Doesn't necessarily always mean safe, but I felt like that's because he was trying to be safe.
Yeah, both players going gas as well. Actually, RevivaL going for as pretty much as greedy as possible with this hatch, no gas. So we'll probably be seeing his pull very, very shortly. There it is, the pull on the way for RevivaL. Just about to finish for DongRaeGu.
Greedy, man. That's the way to go.
It is the way to go.
Only drones.
Only drones. Zerg loves drones, man.
Especially Ret.
Yeah. There's a really good tempo song with Ret in it that talks about his drone counts. It's pretty good. We've got a Overlord of RevivaL having a look in the main here. DRG also doing the same. And neither player is going to be too concerned with what they see.
Still no gas by RevivaL.
Yeah?
He might go for a few queens, like 3 or 4, and then take many gases at once. Gonna be starting his first 2 queens imminently.
It's kind of like a ZVT opener from RevivaL. Getting his gas a little bit later, going heavy queen.
But on this map, he has the very narrow space at his expansion. Like you can wall off very easily if you want to with the evolution chamber. So
yep, once the creep gets up there, you definitely can. It's also so this map actually. You're a Protoss player. When I played Protoss on this map, I struggled to be able to find out how to wall. I didn't know how to wall in that little hole there. I always put the pylon in the wrong spot or the gateway in the wrong spot. Or
I'll teach you.
Okay, please do.
For 30 USD.
30 USD. How about 30 RMB? $9.
That's like €3, man.
Yeah, I got
you think I'm that shit?
Yeah, it was worth a shot. Okay, we got 2 of the Lings of RevivaL heading a look into the natural. They're going to get into the main and just have a bit of a look. This is actually what DRG's been doing in the last few games, but RevivaL pulling it out first.
Yeah. I guess since RevivaL likes to go for the roaches, it makes sense like to play this the way he's playing it. I like how he's taking the 2 gases at his expansion, by the way. This is almost unscoutable by his opponents. Just like in the previous game, like he's hitting his strategy very, very well. And you can tell this guy practices a lot. Being in Pro League, I'm sure he plays tons, and this is really showing here. Everything he does is well thought of. He's meticulous with his build order.
Yeah.
And I really like the way RevivaL is playing, just in general.
He wins so many ZVZs in Pro League, and Pro League is Pro League, man. That is the tip of the iceberg. And if you're winning ZVZs more than 50-50 up at that level, then you are a force to be contended with in this mirror matchup. We see that Roach Warren is nearly or just about halfway done for RevivaL, and with that double gas, like Todd mentioned. The DRG isn't actually going to have too much of any information at all here.
Keep in mind, RevivaL is a teammate of Jadong, and that famous JVZ, man.
The JVZ,
If you can get to practice some against some JVZ, you can develop your own RVZ maybe as RevivaL.
Right. Now JVZ hasn't actually come into full effect in StarCraft 2 yet. Hopefully we see it. I'm a bit of a Jadong fan. I'd like to see him get that dominant position again. So the layers being taken.
He has like 90-something% in ZVZ right now, Jadong.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But he did lose the finals of DreamHack Valencia to Hyun, so he's not unbeatable, but it's Hyun, man. Yeah,
Hyun's amazing. We'll be seeing him a little bit later today. Oh god, the Lings get in, and DRG is going to have a bit of a scout here. Very, very lucky for him.
And wow, I think the most important piece of information here is that there was 4 gases taken and saturated. Like, he could have seen the Roach Run and the double evolution chamber regardless, but now he knows exactly how much gas his opponent is mining, and that makes me wonder, like, could we see RevivaL going for Infestors behind this, or does he just go for 2-2 and Hydralisk in support?
Very, very possibly, man. I mean, it does look like he wants to go for a reasonable Roach count here. He's already getting Glial Constitution, Roach speed and +1 attack and +1 armor at the same time, so he's going really fast upgrades here. I think he might actually try and hit a Roach speed timing attack.
Who?
RevivaL.
I think DongRaeGu is going to do that, actually. Because he's got only 1 evolution chamber. He knows he's up against 2. He knows his opponent is mining more gas than him because he's only on 3 extractors. Yeah. He's got his third hatchery much earlier than his opponent, so he's going to be able to inject and take off in supply.
This is nice from DRG denying that hatchery there.
So
very nice.
So from there, DongRaeGu, like right now, he knows that if he keeps on injecting and making only roaches from now, well, I guess he could saturate his third a little bit more, but I feel like he has enough.
You can see in the production tab, DRG is not concerning with saturation here. Todd is absolutely right. 10 roaches are getting pumped out. Yep, and there he is taking a supply lead. His army supply lead is actually going to be pretty impressive. And, you know, RevivaL is going to have the upgrade advantage, but he's not going to have as many roaches. He's not going to have as much production.
Yeah,
so
definitely not. And DongRaeGu actually throwing down a second evolution chamber at his natural. I really feel like if DongRaeGu from there, he only makes roaches. Like literally only this is not gonna work. Only roaches, and then he hits a timing just when the third base of his opponent finishes, like so it doesn't give him time to inject, or as the first inject finishes. And the eggs are started. Oh wow.
Oh, actually DRG messing up a little bit here. Gonna lose some free roaches to RevivaL.
Yeah, DongRaeGu, I do think he might go for a timing here. He's getting only roaches right now. 7 more on the way, 3 more on the way for RevivaL. Well, RevivaL started 2-2.
Yeah.
Before DongRaeGu started the +2 missile attack himself,
so his window is closing pretty quickly. He needs to go for it.
I think it's right by DongRaeGu to still get his own +2 missile attacks because he's got the gas and the money anyway.
Exactly, and he's coming up.
The creep highway with the overlords is really going to help here.
Nice.
DongRaeGu needs to be careful not to overextend here. He needs to wait for reinforcements. Keep in mind, he's on 1 extra hatch right now, so his production is much greater. He's going to start really to take off on supply. You can see it right now, 145 to 114, and this is going to be so hard for RevivaL to hold this. I know in the previous game he pulled a miracle, but can he do it again?
Well, he's making nothing but roaches right now, man. He's popping out a couple drones because he needs to have that production at that third. And DRG has a small amount of roaches looking like he wants to try and attack the third hatchery while keeping RevivaL's attention on this main attack here on this southernmost path of Neo Planet S.
Yeah, if he kills even just 3 or 4 drones, he's done his job, and those will make even more.
Yeah, he's going to get actually probably 4 or 5 here, man.
4.
Oh. They do get cleaned up, but they've done their job, just like Todd said, destroyed.
5. Man, they're like speed racers.
They are. All right, so RevivaL actually knows that this third is the most important part of his entire base right now. So he's got all of his army there on that creep that he's trying to spread towards DRG's attack. I mean, DRG just pumped out 14 roaches. Oh my God, Todd, he's going to take a huge roach lead. He's actually getting up into the 40s, and
you know what? RevivaL's 2-2 is getting dangerously close to finishing here, and RevivaL
is actually the upgrades again for RevivaL I think are going to become huge here.
Yeah, RevivaL's going forward here, but I really don't think he wants to engage before his 2-2 finishes. I think he might just wait for that to finish and then just go forward and fight in that small timing. There is actually going to be a very tiny window during which he has 2-2 against only the +1 missile attack. Nice contaminate on one of the evolution chambers.
Yeah, DRG actually starting to realize that he needs to try and get something done with these upgrades. His timing is gone. He's actually going to have to go back on the back foot here and try and deal with RevivaL's attack, which is imminent.
Wow, the missile attacks level 2 is about to finish for both players. It's actually now going to finish earlier for DongRaeGu because he contaminated the evolution chamber of his opponent.
But the +2 carapace, and RevivaL knows it is done, and in he goes. As soon as that +2 attack is finished, the roaches are spreading up for a concave, and DRG still has the spread though, and here he goes pushing forward. The roach ball of RevivaL getting back some free damage on the back during the retreat, and DRG actually trying to barrel through. Will the upgrades make the advantage for RevivaL? He has some of his Queen Seeker transfuses as well. With this rally, I think RevivaL actually might be able to crush, but DRG's reinforcement path is so short here for him. All these upgrades again, Todd, just making it that much easier for RevivaL to be able to get that spread. And even with the roach advantage, probably for DRG at this point, he's just so much stronger.
Yeah, it was 2-2 against 2-0 for most of this fight. Now finally DongRaeGu got the carapace level 1, and the army supply is still very even. But RevivaL starting to fall behind here.
He is, man. That reinforcement cannot be. You can't sneeze at the fact that it's just so much easier for him to reinforce the defense other than the attack for RevivaL.
Wait a minute. DongRaeGu is on 65 drones against 52 drones for RevivaL.
What? And he's also at a huge army supply as well.
12 drones were killed by DongRaeGu total this game. So I guess we saw the 5, but he might have killed a few more in the third base of RevivaL because it's pretty empty.
Yeah, it's actually not very saturated at all, man. And RevivaL's been concentrating on building roaches for a while, and DRG.
Look at the supply now.
Yeah, DRG taking a pretty huge army lead, and even with the upgrade disadvantage, he doesn't even care. He doesn't afraid. He's got too many roaches.
He doesn't afraid?
He doesn't afraid. Doesn't even afraid, man.
Well, he is afraid because he's pulling back right now, but he should be attacking momentarily if he wants to finish this game. He's maxed out right now.
Yep.
He's started 7 Hydralisks. I think waiting for them would be a good idea. But I feel like he already has enough to finish this game, to be honest.
I actually agree with you, man. And when these Hydras are out, he has to go for it. There's no point sitting around on 200 supply, especially when you just don't want to let your opponent get up to where you are in terms of tech. And DRG already getting that Hydralisk speed, and he's going to try and catch up with his +2 Carapace. Actually, DRG looking like he's pretty solidly ahead at this point.
Yeah, and he needs to be careful not to give RevivaL too much time. RevivaL right now he's made a lot of roaches. He's getting his first few own Hydralisks. He's getting Groove Spines. I feel like DongRaeGu kind of missed his window here.
It looks like he's just made a bunch of spine crawlers. He's getting 208 out of 200 supply here for DRG. And there's that 4th going down. And he does scout that with that 1 Ling, and he's not too concerned because he's got a huge army. It's so strong. It's got Hydras, and he's just posturing, man. He's waiting for it.
208. Yeah. 206 now. Man, Zergs, they just break every rules, don't they?
All rules broken by the Zerg race.
3 Hydralisks only for RevivaL. Okay, 2 more being made. He's gonna get 7 in total, but DongRaeGu's going for it now.
Yeah, he's just gonna barrel through. He's got a superior Hydra count, and he's got a ton of roaches at the front. None of the Hydras are in range, and his supply count, actually the army supply, pretty even here. DRG is just taking an advantage, but they are units that are back at home. They need to come back up to this battle. But I think that he's actually just got too much again.
This is still very close. Does look like DongRaeGu has a little bit more here, but
the Hydras are vulnerable at the back. You can't lose the Hydras.
The reinforcements came in very quickly for RevivaL here, but DongRaeGu behind this, he has a much better economy. He started 17 roaches, he's already made a whole lot, and he's going to keep on pressing forward. RevivaL overextending here with the chasing.
Yeah, he got a little bit too bold there. DRG is actually up 40-odd supply, Todd. He's ready for it. He's going to go for it again. Unfortunately, this choke is really annoying for DRG to have to deal with, but you know, when you're up 40 supply, when your army is 40 supply stronger than your opponents, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the worker count is even though, so if DongRaeGu doesn't make this work, RevivaL could come back. It's going to be so hard for him to hold this.
Neither player on Hive yet, so they are going to have equal upgrades for a little while. DRG's got a ton of roaches on the left of this concave, and he's starting to wrap around the right as well. I think that this time he's going to be able to barrel through. And taking out the roaches, the Hydras are dead, and this 3rd is in a ton of trouble for RevivaL. And, well, I mean, he's 100 supply down. That's going to tell the story for you right now. GG, and DRG taking it 2-1.
DongRaeGu.
DongRaeGu. Is DongRaeGu good at StarCraft?
So cheesy.
That was terrible. Guys, I hope you're enjoying that cast. Todd, doing some ZVZs. It's a little bit out of your comfort zone. I know you like
It's my favorite matchup.
I'll bet it is. Absolutely. Just like PvP is my favorite matchup.
Oh, it really is.
It actually
for
is.
You.
Yeah, for me.
Not for me. ZVZ can be interesting. Like, I mean, when these players, like, they make it super interesting because they play so well with all the upgrades and everything. Like, they try to trick each other. Even like the Contaminate, I thought was so interesting. They really try to keep up with it, Contaminate many times. They try to go from an angle where like there would be a queen, because you can't really leave a queen there like to defend against Contaminate. That's ridiculous. Like, why not even make spores while you're at it? Yeah. So that was a pretty interesting play by both of these players. DongRaeGu getting the better end of it. I do feel like he could have even won 2-0, but RevivaL put up one hell of a fight as well.
Well, that does mean that DRG gets to take a bit of a break now, because he's through till to the bracket tomorrow.
Well, he's always on the break, basically. His game lasts like 5 minutes. Yeah. He's always through.
Oh, that ZVZ felt like it was a little bit lengthy.
I guess.
A little bit.
Compared to his previous games. Myungshik did win a game against DongRaeGu as well, but overall, I have to say, look, DongRaeGu is looking so strong right now in this tournament. He's definitely one of the top contenders to make it very, very far. And
yeah, could be see a resurgence of DongRaeGu, the Dong 2.0.
DongRaeGu, Hyun, J-Dong.
Yeah.
I better get used of casting some DVD. So all these players doing so well right now.
That's right, a lot of really good Zergs here. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up for now and bring some more games for you guys. So do not go away. You are watching the Intel Extreme Masters in Shanghai with Maynard and Todd. See you soon.